Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. And if this is your very first time, a very special welcome. I'm Bonnie, Old Souled Mermaid. And on my channel, we do deck unboxings, reviews, take a look at deck collecting, and discuss various tarot topics. But today is, as you can tell, it's an unboxing video. And all I have done, I got this late last night, and all I have done is split the box open. Now, if you've seen some of my previous videos about how Amazon ships their tarot decks just in a flimsy envelope, and sometimes the condition, it comes crushed or, something's happened to it. But this time I was very pleasantly surprised to see that it's in this nice sturdy box. So when we pull the deck out, we're going to see what kind of condition it has arrived in. Now, the deck, well, you'll know from the title, but it is Our Tarot by Sarah Shipman. And oh my gosh, look at this. This is a mass market version, an update from the indie Kickstarter version that was done a little while back. And I can see why they put it in a box, because it is very, very heavy and substantial. I mean, more so than like a Llewellyn, I would say. And it's in a box, but I don't know if these were, I think these were already just part of assembling the box. I was going to say there's holes in the box, but no, the box is in pretty good condition. So I'm going to talk while I open the cellophane. I was first made aware of this deck by the gals from the Wildly Tarot podcast, Holly and, this is tough, Esther. And they had an interview. I can't remember if it was on their Patreon only. I think it may be on their general podcast, where they interview the creator. And it's a wonderful episode. Even if you're not interested in getting the deck, you get a glimpse of deck creation, creating the experience for creating for Kickstarter. And she had kind of a funny story, that this was, she launched her Kickstarter long before she should have, because let me come up a little bit more, the cards weren't even done. So it's a really informative episode, and I would encourage you to listen to it. And she goes into, why she picks certain images. But it is a collage deck, and it has notable women in history, as it says. This just came in the back of it, just a back flyer. This is by Harper Design, so it's a subsidiary of HarperCollins Publishers. Now I got this on Amazon. It is not a cheap deck. I can see why. It's very nice production, and we'll see when we go into it. But it was a $40 deck. It was $39.99, and that was like pre-order price, I believe. They didn't discount it at all for pre-order like they usually do for Amazon. And sometimes you can get it for a couple of bucks cheaper. So this is the back of it. Beautiful pink. Let's see, the back of the flyer says 352 page book. Biographies of all the women in the deck, including Frida Kahlo, Cleopatra, Joan of Arc, Jane Austen, Marie Curie, Murasaki Shikibu, Zora Neale Hurston, Harriet Tubman, Josephine Baker, Queen Victoria, Amelia Earhart, and many others. About the artist, Sarah Shipman is an artist whose work has been exhibited at Lexington Art League in Kentucky and the Museum of Contemporary Art in Georgia. Her work has also captured the attention of Christian Dior, with whom she now has collaborated on exclusive series of tarot-inspired t-shirts and tote bags. Interesting. She holds an MFA from the Savannah College of Art and Design. She lives and works in Atlanta, Georgia. And so, yeah, let's get into this. She said in the podcast, I believe she mentioned that this box is stunning, you guys. It's a magnetic closure box. Inspired and kind of spurned to create this deck because of what happened in 2016 in American politics. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Oh my gosh. This is stunning. This is a book. Okay, this is a book. Oh my gosh, it looks like the cards are quite a bit smaller. I've seen unboxings of the indie deck, and I think those cards seem to be bigger. She did say that some cards were going to be different on the podcast, that she switched out some cards, and of course there was going to be differences, but this box is because of the book. And because it's a kind of historical deck, I can see why the book is so big, because people's lives and biographies. So we'll take a look at the book in a minute, because I know y'all want to see the cards, but this is quite... this is not standard tarot size, and I'm going to come in a little bit. I could swear, now it's really hard to tell when you're watching a video, you know, but in the unboxings of the original, I could tell, you know, just by looking at people's hands. Now look at this. This is more Lenormand deck size, I would think. Now let me just grab really quick a regular bicycle deck playing card. And you can see. So not standard tarot size at all. Little bigger than Lenormand. You can see right here. So you can get, I haven't seen any unboxings of this. I haven't been able to find them, of this mass market version. Technically it was released yesterday, but I think some other places may have gotten it earlier. Like I said, I got mine from Amazon. So it's in a tuck box inside a box. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. And my goodness, I don't want to ruin this beautiful tuck box. Let's see if I can get one of my little sewing tools. Maybe that'll help it slip out. It's not going to work. It is in here very, 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 very tightly. I may have to spend some time and open it. See, I'm going to have to go in with... I can't open it, you guys. I may have to... Oh, here we go. Oh, see, I could have easily ripped that off. So it is in here very tight. Okay, there's nice gold in the box. Beautiful, beautiful box, but you know, it's probably going to get ruined. Here we go. These are the backs. Cardstock, matte, not super thick. Again, I'm sorry, I'm going to use the Mass Market Antique Anatomy that I have as a gauge. On the papery side, you know, feeling wise, it's not one of those luscious tactile experiences with this card, you know, handling the card. Very more cardboardy, but not super thick. It's not thick at all. Hopefully there's some core structure in here, so you know the cards won't bend, but it does. It's matte, which is good, but papery. All right, so let us flip these puppies over. Now I will warn you, there is a lot of white space in the cards, and it was with the indie version as well. So because these are small, I'm sorry if I bump this in advance, we're going to get in a little bit closer. So we have Joan of Arc for the Fool, and I think this depiction of Joan of Arc has changed from the original, from the indie version. I think they had more of a warrior Joan, I think, but I could be wrong. You know, I've just seen one or two flip-throughs. Marie Curie as the magician. The High Priestess is Hildegard of Bingen. Now, the collage work in here is quite stunning, and I hope you can see it. I hope this is about as close I can get without it being distorted. But do you see there's a bunch of eyes? The collage work is stunning. The Empress is Nefertari. I mean, there is texture, and I wish this was a more linen cardstock because the textures would jump out more. The Emperor, so apt, Queen Victoria. I love her choices. The Hierophant, Catherine of Aragon, King Henry VIII's first wife. Deeply devout Catholic. And his wanting to divorce her to marry Anne Boleyn was the whole start of the reason for the Protestant Reformation, or actually not really, but the change in the Church of England from being a Catholic country to it started moving more into the Protestant realm. Yes, the Lovers, Jane Addams and Ellen Gates Starr. I am yarn, flowers. I'm just amazed at the collage work. The Chariot, Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman in older age. I do have, I think, a couple of decks that depict Harriet Tubman, but it's a younger depiction of her. Katie Sandwina as Strength. Very Apt Hermit, Emily Dickinson. Now, I'll try to set a nice pace for this so you guys can really see the cards and look at the cards. I'm not going to go through them too fast, but I'll try not to keep this dragging. The Wheel of Fortune, because this is a deck, for a mass market deck, this is quite an investment, you know, for $40 American, USD. What is it? It is, where'd the flyer go? It is $49.99 Canadian. Yes, the Wheel of Fortune, Elizabeth I, very apt. If you know the history of Elizabeth, her life was up and down. You know, she labeled after her mother Anne Boleyn was beheaded. You know, she was labeled illegitimate. She was locked up by her older sister Mary, and then she became queen. She was sexually assaulted by her stepmother's husband. Yeah, crazy. Justice, Ida B. Wells. I'm trying to see, oh, these look like pillars. The Hanged Woman, Hypatia. Death, Frida Kahlo. I wish I had the indie version of this deck so I could do a side-by-side comparison of any changes. If you have the indie deck, let me know what cards have been changed. Anne Sullivan. Helen Keller's teacher. The Devil, Abigail Williams. From the Salem Witch Trials, if you know The Crucible, and you know the play by Arthur Miller. Anne Boleyn as the Tower. Well, she was locked in the tower before she was beheaded. I love the star being Anne Frank. And who wasn't impacted by her journal? You know, I think most of us have read it as a girl in school. And this is fantastic. Mary Shelley as the moon. The author of Frankenstein. I think she wrote that when she was like 17, 18 years old. And I love this sun card. Sister Rosetta Tharpe. Is that like a... It looks like a big old Gibson guitar that she has. Fantastic. Judgment is Sophia Duleep Singh. The World is Amelia Earhart. Now we are going into the suits. The Ace of Cups is Audrey Munson. Two of Cups, Lady Eleanor Butler and Sarah Ponsonby. My favorites. The Three of Cups, Charlotte Emily and Anne Bronte. My other, I have two Instagram accounts. The first, you know, Old Soul Mermaid, but I have another one with just general everyday things. You know, my first Instagram account is Bronte44. And what amazes me about these women is that they lived a very sheltered life, but they wrote fantastic fiction from just their imaginations. And two of them and their brother died of tuberculosis, their mother and two other sisters. It's sad, sad, sad. Four of Cups, Gladys Bentley. Five of Cups, Eloise D'Arenteuil. I'm not sure, I'm not familiar with who she is. But we have the wonderful Guidebook. Six of Cups, Beatrix Potter. And as you can tell, this deck is quite diverse and inclusive as far as women. It's a women-centric deck. Seven of Cups, Eleanor of Aquitaine. Eight of Cups, Nellie Bly. Nine of Cups, Eloisa Diaz. Ten of Cups, Wangari Maathai. And I don't think I'm familiar with her. But you see, and that's what's so great about this deck. If you don't know a lot about somebody, these images just make you want to run right to the book. So we'll take a look at the book and we'll read about somebody who's not as well known. In fact, I think I'm going to keep her card out, so we'll look her up. Page of Cups, Dorothea Dix. Famous in promoting the health and nursing. Sojourner Truth, and I think it's very apt that she's the Knight of Cups. The Queen of Cups, Kailulani. So, okay, we're going to see that the, okay, let's see. We've got the page, we've got the knights. So because this is female-centric, the kings are going to be titled the Keeper of Cups. And this would be interesting, Eleanor Roosevelt. I think in the podcast she talks about choosing why she chose Eleanor Roosevelt in the Cups, but I can't remember exactly why. She wouldn't be my first choice, you know, if I was going to say Queen of Cups energy, Eleanor Roosevelt, but the explanation made sense. Ace of Pentacles, Murasaki Shikubu. Two of Pentacles, Florence Nightingale. Yes, Three of Pentacles, very apt, Octavia Butler. Four of Pentacles, Isabella Stewart Gardner. And I just, oh, if these were linen. If these were linen, I would have paid probably $50 for this deck. Five of Pentacles, Edmonia Lewis. I'm just blown away by the collage work in this deck. Six of Pentacles, Ada Lovelace. illegitimate daughter of Lord Byron, but an inventor. Way back when women weren't, you know, doing such things, or if they did so in secret. Seven of Pentacles, look how pretty this is. Zora Neale Hurston. The Age of Pentacles, Phyllis Wheatley. Beautiful, beautiful card. Nine of Pentacles, and I cannot pronounce this. Khadija? And I'm not certain who that is. So forgive me. Ten of Pentacles, Gabriella Minstrel. Page of Pentacles, Mary Lou Williams. The Knight of Pentacles, Clelia Mosher. I'm sorry, that's Knight of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is Anna Jarvis. And I'm looking at these cards and I'm wondering if I could... I'm getting ideas for my own little feeble attempts at mixed media. Keeper of Pentacles, so the Queen, the King, the equivalent of the King of Pentacles is going to be Sarah Breedlove. Ace of Swords, Bessie Coleman. Two of Swords, Helen Keller. Now I'm interested to read why the author picked Helen Keller for the Two of Swords. So we had her teacher earlier, I think, in the majors, Anne Sullivan. Three of Swords, Julian of Norwich. Four of Swords, Hilma af Klint. Five of Swords, Carry a Nation. Six of Swords, Marsha P. Johnson. I wish these cards were bigger because the expression on her face is so lovely, that smile. And you can barely see it, but it exudes a wonderful energy. Oh, Seven of Swords, Lucrezia Borgia. Yes, I could see that. Eight of Swords, yes, Georgina Spencer Cavendish. Now, I think I'll have to double check in the book, but I think she's an ancestor of Lady Diana. Princess Diana. And she was the it girl of her day. Very into politics, but it's a story. And there's lots of books, yeah. But there were parallels to her life and, you know, I don't know if she's a great-granddaughter or whatever, but I know she's an ancestor of Princess Diana, and lots of parallels in their lives. 9 of Swords, Joan of Castile. Lupe Velez is the 10 of Swords. I think she had quite a tragic life. Page of Swords. Jane Austen. I'm trying to figure out why she'd be labeled as a page. I would kind of put her as a queen or the keeper, you know, the king, with her sharp wit and her mastery of irony. But that's what the book is for. The Knight of Swords is Wallace Simpson. Not a very controversial character in history. Changed because of her, Queen Elizabeth II is on the throne. But that would have been the case anyway, because Wallace Simpson and the king that abdicated, that she married, Edward VIII, never had any children. So it would have gone to Elizabeth anyway. Queen of Swords, Benazir Bhutto. And I'm not as familiar with her history, so I'll be looking forward to reading the book. Keeper of Swords, so the king, Huda Sha'arari. Not familiar with her story. So I'm so glad there's such a wonderful thick book. Ace of Wands is Pearl Primus. Beautiful fire energy in this card. 2 of Wands, Sarah Grimke and Angelina Grimke. Don't you love the little Victorian spinster bonnets? 3 of Wands, Henrietta Delisle. 4 of Wands is Corazon Aquino. 5 of Wands is Sophie Scholl. Interesting that they don't have the front view, you know, a front view, but this is a powerful image. Six of Wands is Boudica. 7 of Wands is Lausanne. Eight of Wands, Ludmila Pavlenchenko. Nine of Wands is Jovita Idar. Ten of Wands, Wu Zetian. Not familiar with this story. Page of Wands, Elsa von Freytag Lorenhoven. This is lovely. I'm glad they kept this card. Hattie McDaniel is the Knight of Wands. First African-American woman to win an Oscar. They wouldn't even let her really sit, you know, with everybody else in the ceremony. I believe they wouldn't let her attend the Atlanta premiere. Clark Gable, who played Rhett Butler in her defense, threw a fit. And he threatened not to go. I think he did end up going. Something compromise was made. But, yeah. You know, whenever she was on the screen, her and Prissy Butterfly McQueen, they stole the show. They were absolute scene stealers. You know, the other two were Scarlett and Rhett, Clark Gable and Vivian Leigh were wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But when those two, whenever they had scenes with the leads, they were the scene stealers. Queen of Wands is Josephine Baker. And the Keeper of the Wands is Cleopatra. Okay, there's one from the walkthroughs of the original deck. There's one card that I know that's missing from here, and I don't know the position, which card it was, but it was a card of one of my favorite ballerinas, Maria Tallchief. She was a famous Balanchine ballerina, dancer in the New York City Ballet back in the, I want to say the 40s, Native American, and that card was taken out, and I'm very sad, and now I feel the need, like, that I need a indie deck of this deck because she was taken out, and I'm very sad. I don't know who. I'm gonna have to look at somebody else's video of the indie version so I can compare cards, and maybe I should have done that and had written them all down, but I know she's missing, and I'm so sad. I'm sure her replacement is, you know, equally deserving of a spot, but I am really, really sad that that card has been left out. So let's take a look at the book. So not super happy with the cardstock, I'm just saying. But let's look at the book, because I think the book is worth, and we're going to zoom out again, so I apologize in advance if I bump. So let's see what this looks like, and forgive me, but I'm going to take a swig of my Coke Zero, the Nectar of the Gods. Because I feel I've been flapping my gums for a while. This is just beautiful. Oh my stars. This is stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Out of this world, stunning. There's an introduction. Let's see, did I skip? Is there a table of contents? No table of contents. So there's an introduction, tarot history. It goes over the mechanics of, a tarot deck, getting readings. Here's some sample readings, shuffling, what to ask, cutting. There are some spreads, past, present, and future. Give me five card spread. There's 3 pairs to power, the 3-pair spread. And she has the Celtic cross. And then she goes straight into the major arcana. So it looks like you get the person, where they're from, the time they lived, and then you get keywords, upright and reversed, and then you get a history of the person. And it's long, you get quite a bit. And I don't know, we'll look at one to see if the meanings of the cards are interwoven and why they were chosen. So so you get a beautiful full, so you can see the cards so much better. So if you're looking at this in bed, you definitely don't need the cards, because quite honestly, you get a better view of the book than the cards. And I think this is just a wonderful, concise history book of all these notable women. And I think it's, it might be worth the price for the book itself. Let's look at that. If you remember, I pulled the 10 of Cups. I'm not familiar with her, and it looks like you get the same amount of writing with the minors. Let's see, how does she have this? She has pentacles. Okay, here's the cups. Look how beautiful those full color pictures are. That's a beautiful picture of Eleanor Roosevelt. So there's a lot of information here. So I'm just gonna maybe go through a little bit of it. Wangari Maathai. She lived from 1940 to 2011 in Kenya. Upright, we've got, the key aspects: paradise, compassion, growth, kindness. Reverse, disconnection, neglect, disrespect. On June 5th, 1977, members of the National Council of Women of Kenya, the NCWK, marched from downtown Nairobi to just outside the city. Upon reaching their destination, they planted 7 tree seedlings, each about a foot tall. This event marked the launch of an environmental organization called the Green Belt Movement. Oh, I'm so glad I picked this one. Founded by the NCWK member, scientist, and the first woman in East Africa to earn a doctorate degree. Wangari Maathai. Since then, the organization has planted more than 51 million trees. By the mid-1970s, Wangari had begun to notice the environmental factors contributing to the overall decline of Kenya's ecosystem. Industrial and agricultural development had caused the destruction of natural watersheds and created desert landscapes where there had been streams of water. In 2005, article for Yes magazine, Mia McDonald recounts what precipitated the beginnings of Wangari's activism. Maathai began making connections others hadn't, listening to the women talk about water, about energy, about nutrition. It all boiled down to the environment, she said. I came to understand the linkage between environmental degradation and the felt needs of the communities. In 1977, when Gari was serving as the chair of the Department of the Veterinary Anatomy at the University of Nairobi, when she established the Green Belt movement. Sound familiar? Green New Deal? The organization recruited and empowered rural Kenyan women to plant trees in their communities. In her memoir Unbowed, Wangari explained all they needed to know was how to plant the seedling in the soil and help it grow. Dig a hole, put a tree in it, water, and nurture it. In any case, these women were farmers. So there's a lot more to this, and it talks about her book. In 2002, Wangari ran for parliament as part of a coalition of all the opposition parties. Her election contributed to the end of the Kenyan African National Union's 40-year-long rule over the government of Kenya. And I'm embarrassed that I didn't know this, but in 2004, she won the Nobel Peace Prize, making her the first African woman to become a Nobel laureate. 2 months later, she received the prize and delivered a lecture at Oslo City Hall. She dedicated her life to creating a better quality of life and healthier natural environment, not only for Kenya, but for the entire planet. Okay, so it does go a little bit towards the end. The Ten of Cups symbolizes the fulfillment of living in peaceful communion with your surroundings. Okay, so it does draw a parallel of her life and, you know, the card that she's depicting. So I'm so glad I picked her, and I'm utterly embarrassed that I did not know about her. And I am, yeah. Okay, so first impressions, final impressions that I'm going to leave you with. Glorious, A+, A freaking plus and above on the book. And the packaging, the box as well. The cards, A+ on the collage work, the art. I wish the card that they had kept the original size of the indie deck, because this artwork is fantastic. It's just beautiful, and these cards are too small to do it justice. Okay, so Mark's taken off for the size of the cards for this type of imagery. The cardstock, if they had done a linen type cardstock like the Clarkson Potter decks, the Tarot of the Divine, that linen cardstock that the Tarot of the Divine is, something similar, would have made the textures pop like crazy. And I think they should have done that for the price of this deck. It was like a missed opportunity. However, this deck is wonderful, wonderfully diverse. As far as, it is a women-centric deck, female-centric deck, but wonderfully diverse, educational, just fantastic. So let's try shuffling it. It's clumping together because it's new, but the cardstock is not, thick. It is matte. It does feel, it's new cardstock. There's no gloss or anything. It's like paper. Let's see. I'm afraid to even try a riffle shuffle because it's very stiff. Very, very stiff. But it is the plus size. If you have small hands, you know, this won't be a problem for you to handle. Okay, so I think some things missing, not with the artwork at all. Wished it was at least traditional tarot size. Wish the cardstock was linen, or even like a Llewellyn cardstock would have been better, I think. Just, yeah. The book is wonderful. The packaging is wonderful. And I think that's mostly what you're paying for. It seems like they, and I hate when they do this, is that they skimp on the cards. I think for this price point, they could have done a little bit better with the cards, with everything else being so wonderful. The packaging, the wonderful book, but it's really the cards that are going to be in your hands, the cards that you're going to be reading with. This is the tool, and this is what they skimped on. So now I feel like I have to be on a mission to get the other deck. So if you have one you want to sell, let me know in the comments, and let me know what you think. Is this something that would be in your wheelhouse? And if I provided any information, if you found this video to be of any value to you, please hit a like and subscribe. I'm a very small new channel, and it would really help me. And also comment below. Let me know what you think of the deck. Do you have the original indie? Do you want to get rid of it and sell it to me? Let me know, and I will be back with another video very soon, and I hope you have the best of days. Bye for now.